Hey everyone, if you're watching the replay, please swipe and share. Hey everyone, welcome. Welcome everyone. And again, the people count is not right. That's okay. I guess it doesn't really matter. Thank you for the lowly old heart. Appreciate that. Oh, thank you guys. Hi. Hi everyone. I was just live on Facebook. How fun was that? I don't know if anybody saw it. Whew. Hi. Hi you guys. I just seen you live. I know, right? I'm just live all over the place. I'm just live everywhere. Hi. Holy boxes, Batman. I know, right? Hi, Jamie. How are you? Yay. Thank you for telling me your name. Because sometimes and even still if I've looked before, the treadmill is not depressing. Treadmill is not depressing. Thank you for sharing and inviting followers. That's awesome. Haha. I don't find it depressing. You know why? Because it gets my juices pumping. My blood is flowing. Not at all depressing. Good. And I got a big job ahead of me. Yes, walking is definitely funner with friends. I missed you on Facebook. I have a big job ahead of me, so I thought, you know what? I've got to lift boxes. I'm going to have to do all kinds of things. How can I sign up for Sensi? How can you sign up for what, sweetie? Help me. Any movement is great, a great stress relief. When I go live, hey! When I go live, you can hit subscribe. Like, go and find one of my live things. I just did one live, and when you're watching it, you'll be able to hit live subscribe. Morning from New Zealand. Good morning, and happy Green Day, everybody. I live in a Scottish-Irish community, and so today is a pretty big day for us. Although it's snowing extremely hard, so there's not going to be a lot of outdoor activities being done today. Matter of fact, I don't think it's supposed to stop snowing until Sunday. So, and it's actually snowing pretty hard. So I'm really blessed that I have the treadmill that I can, hi Dawn, that I can walk on. So, welcome everybody to Chatmill with EdieAnne. You answer Sensi questions on there? I do. On Facebook I do. Not here. Hi. Yay. Okay. So here's the deal. It's kind of sad. I'm a little sad today. Not depressed, but sad. Today's the last day of our Training Your Brain series. Yeah. So this is the book we have been discussing. If you want to take a screenshot so that you can find it on Amazon later, that would be a really good idea. And this is just a good way to not show my face. Right? No? Dana Wilde is a good friend of mine, and about 5 years ago, I was introduced to her through the Mind Aware series. And I made it my mission, and through the use of the techniques that we've learned, I said, you know, she's interviewing a lot of amazing people on this Mind Aware series, and I want to be a guest. I want her to interview me. And so last year was her 5th season, and guess who she asked to interview? I was super blessed. I was super excited, and it came true. And all of this that I've been working at was a testament, right? Yay! Was a testament that it works, guys. And I guess that's why I felt so compelled to come and talk to you guys and share with you my knowledge on this, because it really does work. How exciting. It is exciting. And so I am an advocate for this, and I believe in it, and I know that it takes work, and I know that it takes effort. I'm a culprit to the downside of not having positive thinking or having perfect language or using my mantras or saying my affirmations or having that negative self-talk, right? We're all guilty of that. We're all guilty of that. And unfortunately, some much more than others. And so I think the message that I want to make sure that hi, how are ya? I want to make sure that you guys leave with a feeling of intent. That you leave this series with a knowledge of what can be done and where you stand in that and how you can implement it into your own life, right? So if someone would do me a favor and pop up my catch address. Yes, the series, get out of my head. So catch.me/EdieAnne. If someone wants to put that up there for me, I would appreciate that. And that way you can take a screenshot of it. I should have put it on a piece of paper so that you could do a screenshot, but oh well. So catch.me/EdieAnne is where all of our previous episodes of Chat Mill are. Now, there we go. Thank you. So what happens now, right? What? No, not match me. Catch.me. Catch.me/EdieAnne. Right. I know. I'm a culprit of typos. Trust me, I get it. So the last thing, and guys, I left a lot out that's in this book. So I'm really hoping that you take it upon yourselves to go and get it. I don't get anything for this, guys. Okay, I don't get anything but the satisfaction of knowing that this message is being sent out. Because there's just so much that can be done that we can help ourselves and we can help others by knowing this knowledge, having this knowledge, okay? And it's not hooey-pooey stuff. It's a matter of connecting with your inner self, your unconscious mind, and telling it things that you really want to hear and that you really want to be and that you really want to play out, right? So my favorite sayings in this series, I say them every day, is one that Dana has said often. Yes, good, get the book. One of the things that she says often is, the problem isn't the problem. The problem is that you're focusing on the problem. Isn't that good? The problem isn't the problem. The problem is that we're focusing on the problem. When you don't give energy to the problem, it's no longer a problem. How amazing and simple is that, right? Yes, that's amazing. It is. The problem isn't the problem. The problem is that we are focusing on the problem and giving it energy. And when you give something energy, it multiplies. When you give something energy, it festers, it bubbles, it boils, right? So don't focus on it. You know, you always hear the saying, focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. It's the same thing. But I love the way that it sounds. The problem isn't the problem. The problem is that you're focusing on the problem, right? Okay. So that's one of the things that I love to point out to people, because it seems like such a simple fix. Just stop focusing on it. Change your mind. You put your mind on something else, right? The other one that I say often, right, is that the story you tell yourself about yourself is the story that you believe. And it's also the story that you play out in your life. So the story that you tell yourself about yourself is the story you believe and you play out in your life. So make your story a good one. And remember, our unconscious mind is our best friend. It believes everything we tell it. It has no mind of its own. Your conscious mind is what puts these thoughts there. Your unconscious mind doesn't necessarily consist of thoughts, right? Your unconscious mind is the one that's doing all of these things, and there's really no thought behind that. There's really no thought behind breathing. There's no thought behind my feet going forward and back on this treadmill, right? The forefront thought is what feeds the information to your unconscious. And it can do that pretty quickly. And this is a very scientifically proven thing, right? So your unconscious mind believes everything that you tell it, that your conscious mind tells it. So if you say, I'm shy, your unconscious mind says, yes, you're shy. If your conscious mind says, oh my God, I'm so fat, your unconscious mind says, yeah, you are. So why wouldn't you tell it things like, oh, I feel so beautiful? That's because you are. Or, oh, I feel so much healthier. Well, you are healthier. Do you see what happens? And so the story that you tell yourself about yourself is only the story that you're telling. Nobody else can tell that story. And that's where we talked about perception. So, guys, I'm giving a recap of everything that we've talked about. I'm not giving you a lot of detail, which means that you gotta kind of go back and listen to some of the old chat mills where we talk about these things, right? And that perception, you're welcome. Perception is only your thoughts. Perception is kind of learned. You know, we allow other people's perceptions into our minds, but we also allow our own perceptions into our mind. And again, it's only a thought. It's not controlling. Perception is not controlling. When you're fearful of something, it's because your perception of it means that something is potentially going to happen. Well, you don't know if anything's going to happen, so why even fear it? Does that make sense? Throw some hearts up there if this makes sense, you guys. I want to know. It's funny because I do these chat mills, and you guys are so quiet, and you're so listening, I guess. Hey, Eddie, you're so intent, and you're so just. Hi. You're focused. You guys are so focused, and you're listening, and that's awesome. But then I kind of feel alone, and I'm like, oh, I'm on the chat mill all by myself. No hearts are going up. Nobody's chatting. Taking it all in. Awesome. Hard thought. Well, I'm glad you're here. Where can we find previous chat mills? If you go to, and someone, if you would do me the honors, catch.me/EdieAnne. All of my chat mills were uploaded to that website. And so you can go back and see. Now, I did something today that was pretty neat. I went back and looked. Finally caught you live on the mill. Yay! I did something today that was pretty cool. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome, awesome. I went back. Hey, it's Melanie. I didn't know who it was. Hi, Melanie. Thank you. My glasses are fogging up. Guess what I'm doing? They're coming off. My glasses are, that's all that's coming off too, by the way. Thank God there's no trolls in here. So, yeah, I was looking back, and it looks like today's actually kind of an anniversary. It's been 1 month since I've been on Chatmill. The very first one that I did didn't have the name. I was just on the treadmill, and I was chatting with you guys, and one of my lovely friends from Australia came on and said, you should call it Chatmill. And I went, oh, that is a wonderful name. And it caught on, which is so cool, because now everybody's like, oh, we missed Chatmill. Oh, we're going to see Chatmill. Oh, I can't wait for you to do Chatmill. So it's been pretty cool, and I'm very blessed for the experience that I've gotten. It's been unreal. So, whew, I'm going faster than I normally go. Sweating a lot, plus I already just moved a lot of boxes. That's a really great idea. Thank you. I love Chatmill. So, all right, guys. Yes, I'm going to continue doing Chatmill. Let's wrap up Train Your Brain first, okay? One day I'll work out while you are. Good. Oh, thank you. $1,000 party this morning, superstar. Nice. Awesome. Okay, so what was I gonna say? Oh, let's wrap it up. So when you get through all of the chat mails, if you didn't watch them all, the last thing that you have to understand is, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard of inspired action. Sometimes when inspired action happens, you kind of feel idle, because if you're not being inspired by an outside force, sometimes we don't inspire ourselves very strongly. Is that not true? Right? We have a hard time inspiring ourselves sometimes, and that's because we're not looking inside us to give the reason why. Back to chat mail number 1, the why we're doing it in the first place. So I'm gonna share what Dana shares, and instead of saying inspired action, let's do some intentional action. Intentional action means that you're going to make an effort. You're going to potentially be inspired. There still can be some inspired action there. But your intentional action means that with the intent of changing your mindset, with the intent of having that new thought process be something that comes to fruition in your life, that you are going to put full focus, full intent on what it is that you're wanting, and who it is that you want to be, and how you want others to perceive you, because you have that power to have that kind of insight to give people perception of you, because you can only create, you're the only one that can create the perspective that people are going to have. Now what they do with it, kind of up to them, right? But you have that ability. And so I want you guys to understand that you truly have what it takes to change your thought process so that it benefits you, and that you're not focusing on the things that you don't want, and that you're not focusing on the oh woe is me, the Eeyore syndrome. Actions that justify your conscious goal rather than your subconscious doubts. Right. So, and part of that, Eddie, as we've been talking about this, is that our unconscious mind, and I've already said this, but our unconscious mind is our best friend. Our unconscious mind will believe anything that you tell it. And so, believe it or not, it's our forward front thoughts in our brain, the actual ones that you are doing, that are feeding the information to your unconscious. So it's not necessarily your unconscious that's creating these doubtful or negative thoughts, it's your forward thinking that is. And your unconscious mind is just believing it. It just says, yeah, okay, you're right. I'm not going to argue with you because I can't create my own thoughts. Okay? So the intentional action means that you have to be aware. You have to be aware of the thoughts that you're saying. So I'm going to go back to this whole journal of when you are being led by a dietitian, they're going to make you do a food journal. They're going to make you write down everything that you eat so that you can be conscious of what you're putting in your mouth, and if there are things that need to be adjusted or fixed. A thought journal is the exact same thing. When you notice a thought, jot it down. Use shorthand, I don't care. Just jot it down. Because just as much as you need to know what's going into your mouth, you need to know what thoughts you're putting in your head. And so once you see this journal and say, oh, gosh, that's awful negative, maybe I should try some of those transitory statements that Edie was talking about. The buts, or I'm doing this, but I'm getting better and better every day. So I want you to share with me what your favorite or what your new affirmation is, your new thought, what gives you the energy and drive you to keep going. You feel overwhelmed. Okay. And I guess I'm kind of a tough love kind of person. You're allowing yourself to feel overwhelmed. It's not something that can physically happen. It's your thoughts that make you feel overwhelmed. So the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is to stop telling yourself that you're overwhelmed. Okay? And tell yourself, remember your story that you just wrote. How do you find the energy to keep going? I'm so overwhelmed. That's your story. That's what you are feeding yourself. Change your story if you don't like it. And say, you know what? I've got so much energy. I'm getting more and more energy every day. I feel better and better every day. I seem to be able to accomplish more and more because I have more and more energy every day. And if it doesn't feel like you are telling truth, keep telling yourself it, because your unconscious mind is believing you. Okay? And so what happens is it gets to a point, and it's a known fact, it's 21 days-ish to build a habit. So if we're needing to build a habit around the words that we tell ourselves, then do it for 21 days, just for the hell of it, and see what happens. I bet you're going to be surprised. That's my new goal. Write it and finish it. Write your journal. What you just wrote is something that needs to go into your journal. Because once you read it back to yourself, you're going to be like, oh, really? What's 21 days in this exactly? 21-day goal. There we go. It's true. 21 days takes about the time to instill a habit. And so if your new habit needs to be positive talk rather than negative talk, then try it. Try it. What can go wrong? What can it hurt? It cannot hurt anything. If anything, you're going to gain so much. So much good feeling, good thoughts. And that's going to get passed on. So if you're having a hard time with your family or friends or spouse or kids, that's probably where it's coming from. My guess is that it is exactly where it's coming from, and that it has nothing to do with their attitude or their inability to do things. It's how you're internalizing it and your perception on what they're doing. Does that make sense? Give me some more hearts, give me some ones or something, let me know. I watch YouTube videos for hours. How much time do you recommend for training? Okay, so this is another thing. And this is what I'm talking about, intentional action. We can learn, and we can learn, and we can learn, and we can sponge, and we can take it all in, and we can try to assess it, and we can try to understand it. But until we take that knowledge and apply it into our lives in a physical form, whether it be thought, movement, written, spoken, hearing is in learning mode, so spoken, written, moving, okay? All that learning is going to be for naught. So if you have been spending hours on YouTube, it's time to take that knowledge that you have. You already have it. You already know what you need to do. Get on it. Give some intentional action. Put some focus to it. Drive your why to fruition, right? And if you are not intentionally active or unable to have intentional action, it's because you don't know your why. And so when you can dig deep enough and know what your why is, it will drive you to do anything you need to do. I promise. Hence the reason I am on this treadmill. My why is pretty deep. My why is pretty wide. My why is pretty big. And it means more to me than not being on this, right? So our intentional action is what's going to put the nail in the board and solidify you. And all of these different things that you do, whether it's a journal, whether it's reading the book, whether it's doing your intentional action, all of those things are what is going to drive you to making it happen and to making it effortless, that it's just a part of who you are. And it just becomes your everyday action, your everyday thought, your everyday talk. New baby and you must succeed. Is that what you're saying your why is? Because you need to ask yourself why those things are important to you. And when you answer that question, ask yourself why it's important that those things are part of your life or that they happen. And then dig and ask yourself why again when you answer that. Have someone do that with you, because sometimes we stop at a certain point and say, well, that's it. That's my why. And if somebody says, okay, well, why is that important to you? It really makes you think. It really makes you dig. And it really makes you understand who you are as a person and what's driving you every day. You know, and sometimes it goes back to childhood, and sometimes it goes back to a bad relationship, and sometimes it goes back to a current bad relationship, and sometimes it goes back to the feelings of euphoria when you've been able to do something. It doesn't matter what kind of emotion it is, but that it's drawn from emotion. Because a why isn't a thing. A why is an emotion. It's not a thing. It's not a baby. It's not money. It's not a trip. It's how you feel and why it matters that those things are in your life. Does that make sense? But it's up to you to dig deep enough and find it, right? A why is not a thing. The goals to your why are things. The things that you achieve on the way, those are goals. Those are your whats. What am I doing? How am I doing it? Why am I doing it? Right? Look at the red. All right, so I want to hear from you guys. Yes, chat mail is going to continue. We've been on now for 28 minutes. See how fast that goes? And I'm sweating up a storm. Woo! What would you like to see? Remember yesterday I asked you guys to be thinking about this. What would you like to see for future chat mail topics? Give them to me. Let me know. And hopefully you guys have thought about this because, you know, my reason for being on the treadmill and being live is to motivate me, to give me some accountability, because I've not been working out because my excuse is that I can't work when I'm working out. Well, guess what? It's not an excuse anymore. So I want to make sure that what I'm providing is of value. I've always said that whenever I go live, whether it's YouTube, on stage, here, that I need to give value to my audience, because I don't want you guys to go away saying, that was kind of lame. And, you know, we've had our lame nights. We've had our lame topics and where it didn't go anywhere, and that's okay, whatever. But for the majority of the time, I want to make sure that I'm providing value. So, tell me, what is it that you would like our chat mills to be about? And it will start Monday. I don't care what the topic is, I'll bring it to you. And it's everything but Sensi. We cannot talk about Sensi on Periscope. That's just my rule. Hearts would be nice to know you're there. Comments would be nice to know you're thinking. So I heard, I did a past the cast. I don't know, I already broke a rule. You did? Thinking, okay. So, no surprise here. I heard something the other day, and they said you should either be typing or tapping. No quiet. Not on affirmations, or would that tie to this? I mean, it kind of ties to this, but I mean, I pride myself in mindset, and I use Train Your Brain as a guide for this. We can talk about affirmations. It's hard because everybody's are going to be different. Success in what regards? Success in what regards? Give me a little bit more to go on, because it's going to be hard for me to pull out a topic to talk about. Tap, tap, type, 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 or tap, tap, tap. Type, 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 tap, tap, tap. Yeah, you're going to be able to apply it to whatever you want to apply it for. I do some direct sales training on my DS Playground, which I don't do a lot. So I don't necessarily want to go into direct sales training. I want to stay on the mindset side. So affirmations is on. I'm onboarding with Monroe today. Let's chat about commitment. Commitment. That's a good one. Commitment's good. So there could be a couple different topics, making commitments and keeping them. I'm uproar, anything mindset. I'm for Eddie. Yeah, I know. All right, so you guys haven't really been much help, so thank you. I'm just kidding. Creative Flow TV, welcome. Oh, I love it. So there are 24 people in here, and only a few of you have been interacting. So do me a favor and type in some kind of an emoji and just send it up. And let me see where you're at and if you're here. Because it says 24 people, and I'm not sure I believe it. Where are you all? Emojis, hearts, sharing. Ah, there's some. Emojis, hearts, typing or tapping. Typing or tapping. You guys are so cute. Oh look, we got green, brown, peach, orange, pink. Those are some good colors. You guys are not very talkative today. I'm not sure why. Did I lose you? All right, what about coming out of your comfort zone? What are some examples that you can talk about? Pretty much anything. The book, I know. Jason's been doing the Happiness Advantage, and he's primarily with Sensi. I do like the comfort zone one, and that might be a good topic. I don't know how long it could last, maybe a week. I might be able to drag it out for a week. All right, good, I got some ideas. So be staying tuned to see what Monday brings for a new chat mail series or topic. Tomorrow, when I come on, I want you all to be prepared with your successes. Some of the exercises that we did during chat mail for Training Your Brain series was the feather, rose, and blue glass exercise. So I want to hear tomorrow what your result for that was, and if you stayed committed to it, right? And that commitment thing is a tough one, right? And then we also did the journal. We also talked about intentional action and creating your own affirmations with perfect language. So tomorrow I want to do some shout outs for a few of you that have been on here right along, and I want you to share some of your successes, so be prepared, maybe pre-type it so that way you can just hit send. And so then tomorrow we'll kind of do like a celebrating we're all done and yay and congratulations and all that good stuff. So I'm really super blessed and grateful that you guys have stayed with me right along during this whole series. I'm looking forward to starting a new one on Monday, so make sure that you come back for that. I do not do chat mails on Saturday and Sunday. Love the getting out of your comfort zone idea. Yeah, we're going to work on that one, I think. I think that might be the one that we do. We'll see. We'll see, because there was a couple here that I really liked. Missed some, but I will catch up. Yes, you'll need to. So, okay. Here are my stats. Are you ready? 1 mile, 1.36 miles. We've been on for 36 minutes at 2.3 miles per hour. Yeah, that's pretty darn good. So, as you know, when I hang up, I kind of do a little bit of a sprint. Not a sprint, but I juice it up a little bit. All right, so I will see you guys all tomorrow on Chatmill. We're going to celebrate a little bit and prepare ourselves. Tomorrow I'll announce what the new topic is going to be. Okay, how's that sound? No, I'm on the treadmill. All right, you have an amazing day as well, you guys. I'm so grateful for all of you. Do it to it. Start your 21 day and make it happen. Make it a habit. Okay? Happy St. Patrick's Day to you too. All right, everyone. See you later.